Are Christians so busy gazing at heaven that they're forgetting to care about the earth? Making the case for the prosecution, outspoken author Andrew Nikiforuk. We'll get two sharply contrasting opinions, then an insightful conversation with world-renowned poet, author, and theologian Eugene Peterson. This is Context, the show that looks at life beyond the headlines.
Environmentalism and religion both provoke strong opinions. Earlier, I met with outspoken Calgary journalist Andrew Nikiforuk at the Toronto Harbourfront to explore those topics and discuss his new book, The Energy of Slaves. Andrew, give us an idea what shape we're at in taking care of the environment.
We're in a crisis. It is not just an environmental crisis. It is a political and economic and spiritual crisis. And it's all about energy and how we abuse energy.
What's worse today for this beautiful planet than when, let's say, I was a little girl?
Well, there are now 7 billion people on the planet. There were, in the 1950s, approximately 3 billion. So we have more than doubled the population on the planet. At the same time, we have built these incredible megacities to house this added population. The cheap fuel that we use as a feedstock for machines has allowed us to really transform and re-engineer much of the planet according to our needs, or really according to the needs of a high-energy civilization.
And if we continue...
Which is highly materialistic, right? It's all about stuff, and it's all about quantity, and it's not about quality.
And if we continue on this path, what do you predict?
If we continue on this path, we will have an unending series of crises that we will have to deal with.
Such as?
Such as the unpredictable nature of climate change. When you throw out phenomenal emissions of CO2, all coming from our energy slaves and from the burning of fossil fuels, into the atmosphere, we are actually changing the energy makeup of the atmosphere by overheating it. And that is resulting in phenomenal changes across the globe that will affect food production, it will affect infrastructure.
Can you be a little specific about those phenomenal changes? Like we worry about, are water levels going up? Was that tsunami or was that hurricane because of climate change? But do we know?
We do know in some cases. We do know that we are experiencing more extreme weather. That's a fact. We do know that we are experiencing more rainfall in some areas, and that's a fact. We do know that we're experiencing more drought in other areas, and we also know that Arctic ice is disappearing at a phenomenal rate. That Arctic ice is really the globe's air conditioning unit. It helps regulate the climate for the rest of the planet, and when you use that, when you break that air conditioner, we really don't know what kind of hell is going to face us. So we are facing those kind of challenges at the same time that this incredible energy infusion that we have poured into our economies and our highly materialistic way of living is being challenged by higher and higher energy prices.
You write in Energy of Slaves that we've ratcheted up all of this need for consumption to make us happy, but it has not made us happy.
Consumption has never made people happy. I mean, every religion in the world has advisories, prohibitions, proverbs, psalms about consuming modestly, living modestly, and we've broken all of them.
And yet you have been harsh on religion, specifically my type of Christianity, evangelicalism, that we've been bad for the environment. Why?
Well, because, and I don't want to generalize here, I would say that some aspects of Christianity have bought into high energy materialist cultures. Other aspects of Christianity have questioned it and have said, no, wait a moment, what are we doing here? We are enriching our households at the expense of our souls and at the expense of our spirits. So the Christian response to these issues, is mixed. I mean, we have many, many Christians who are deeply concerned about these other issues, and other Christians, interestingly enough, who have taken the same position, let's say, that 18th or 19th century slaveholders took, was when they were really pressed about their energy needs and their energy habits and behaviors, resorted to divine providence. They said, well, wait a moment, God has ordained this. Well, God has not ordained how much energy we should be using.
You're even harsher on the political system in Canada right now.
Yeah.
Why do you not like the approach the current government is taking to our energy needs?
Well, I've been highly critical of petrostates all over the world, and they're very distinct and dysfunctional entities.
Andrew, is Canada a petrostate?
Yes, Canada is a petrostate. And petrostates are dysfunctional in the sense that they become concerned only about one thing, and that is the production and export of oil. And that dominates then all political and economic conversations. And the problem in Canada, as Peter Lougheed, the late Peter Lougheed pointed out, is that we don't want to have a conversation about the pace and scale of development and how it is changing the character of the country. And Peter Lougheed put it, I think he put it best. He had sort of a couple of words of advice. He said, one, behave like an owner, we're not. Save for a rainy day, we're not saving anything. Collect your fair share. Our royalties and are among the lowest in the world, and hence have prompted really extreme rapid development. Clean up the mess, one project at a time, and add value to the resource. We're not following any of that advice, and as a consequence, we are falling into we were really becoming just another petrostate.
Okay, Andrew Nikiforuk, author of Energy of Slaves, thank you very much. You and I are going to continue this conversation on our webcast, though. So go to contactswithlornaduick.com because he's got a lot of controversial ideas about Canada's oil sands, which actually I don't agree with. So you got to maybe set me straight. So join us on the web for that conversation. Now we want to know what you think. Has the politicization of the environmental debate hampered progress on addressing the issue? Join the conversation. Send your answers by phone, email, Facebook, or Twitter. Our studio audience is taking a live vote, and we'll have those results when we come back. Now, is religion a blessing or a curse for the environment? Stay tuned. That debate is up next.